Welcome to the Sewing Whisperer. This video tutorial shows you how to create colour options for simple text sketches, fashion flats or fashion CADs. If you would like to follow along with the shorts that are being used in this tutorial, there is a free download available in the details below. We're now going to have a go at colouring the shorts. So this is a practice file that I've been playing with before starting this tutorial. So I'll go back to the file that we're all working on. So we've applied our brushes, we're ready to go for colour. The first thing we're going to do is set up a colour layer. So click in the layer palette, click the plus, and we'll double click and call it colour. And we'll set up our swatches on this layer. So we're going to get the rectangle tool and hold shift and drag to create a perfect square. And we'll empty out the stroke. We don't want any stroke on it. Bring the fill box to the front and we'll fill that with a color. So we'll go to the swatches and we'll fill that with the gray just beside the black in the grayscale palette. Now we'll make a copy of that. So select it, hold Option and Shift and drag, Option or Alt and Shift and drag a copy, and then repeat that again. And the next one we're going to pick the brown just above there, and then the next one we'll pick the blue that's over here. It's a purpley blue underneath the pink. Okay, I'd like to change these colors slightly, so I'll select the first one. I'm going to double click in there. I'm going to go down slightly and OK. And the next one, double click. I want to make this one a little bit more grey, slightly darker and grayer. OK. And the next one, which should still be that blue, I want to also make that one a little bit more grey. I think that's pretty good. Okay, now we can set up a folder for these swatches, so we'll select them all. We'll come over to the swatches palette and click this little folder, and I'll call this shorts. And OK. So we now have those colors in here, which means we could actually delete these swatches. I'm going to put them off the page at the moment because we don't really need them on the page. Okay, so now we're going to make a copy of the front shorts. So we need to unlock all layers. We don't really need the croquis layer. We could delete that. I'll leave it there for the moment. So let's select the shorts. Now we're not going to do Command or Control C and then Command or Control V. I'm going to select it, hold Option and drag a copy down below. And the reason I'm doing it that way is so I retain all the layers. Now I'm going to make a copy to the side. So hold Option or Alt and Shift, and then repeat that again. Hold Option or Alt and Shift. And that way we've retained all our layers. So the first pair, we can click on there, make sure your fill box is at the front, come over and we'll pick the darker color that we've created. And then we'll repeat that to the next one. Select the brown and then select the blue. Now you'll see by doing that the colors of the stitching don't look very good, so we can correct that now. So we'll lock the outside lines in the shadow layer, make the inside lines the active layer. Let's select all the stitching, bring the stroke box to the front. We'll click in that swatches color, the darkest color, then we'll double click in here and just darken it down. Sometimes with a dark color you have to make your stroke color lighter. Maybe on this one it might be better. Let's try it and see. So let's go a lighter shade for our stitching. Yes, I think that works better on the darker one. Okay, let's try the next one. So select. Once again, we'll go to the swatches, pick the brown color, and then double click and make it a darker hue. Okay. And then we'll come over to the blue ones. Select the blue in the swatches, double click and make it a darker hue. Okay, right, I think that's looking pretty good. Next we need to address the shadow. So we could probably leave it on the darker ones, but I think we need to adjust the shadow on the green and the blue. So we'll make our shadow the active layer, click the shadow area, bring the fill box to the front and make that the brown color, double click, and you can either lighten or darken the hue. I'll go lighter for that one. And then we'll click the blue, double click, and we can make that one perhaps darker. Okay, now that we've got our shorts all coloured, if we wanted to lay them out by overlapping them, we need to create some new layers. So let's create a new layer for the dark ones. So click the new layer and let's call that one charcoal. I don't like having my handles black. I'm going to change that to any other colour. Now we'll create a new layer and we'll call this dark taupe. And then we'll create another layer and we call this one navy. Okay, so unlock all your layers, select the charcoal pair. This time we are going to copy and paste, so Command or Control C, lock all those layers, go to your charcoal layer, Command or Control V. Now when that comes in, all the layers have been combined. At this stage we've finished all the artwork. We can now also group everything together. You can do that three ways. You can say Object Group, you can right click and say Group, or you can do the shortcut keyboard of Command G or Control G. So I'll say Group there. So that means now that these lines, if I click on one line, everything's grouped together. I can always ungroup by going Object Ungroup, or the other two ways that I showed you. Okay, let's copy the taupe ones. So unlock everything, copy the taupe pair, Command or Control C, lock those layers, go to your dark taupe layer, Command or Control V, group it, or right click Group, and then that pair can be brought down and overlapped. Now we'll repeat that for the blue. So select the blue shorts, Command or Control C, lock all those layers, go to your navy layer, Command or Control V, we'll group, right click, group, and then bring those down so that they overlap. So for a presentation point of view, that is another way that you can present them, or they could be presented like this. So hopefully that's given you a clear understanding of how to actually go about colouring a text sketch. Thanks so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and give this a thumbs up if you'd like to see more videos.